Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. All praise be unto Yahweh. Abba Yah, we come before you as long as we know how. We ask forgiveness of all sin, known and iniquity unknown. We ask that you lead us and you guide us through your word, by your wisdom, your knowledge, and your thought, that you would have your children, Abba Yahweh, to accomplish what thus saith Yahweh. And we come before you this day as we approach the altar of incense, as we approach your throne, Abba. We say, Torah Rabbah, Yahweh, for not appending to us what our sins and our iniquities and our disobedience deserve this day. And we thank you. And we praise you. Allah, Yahweh, Selah, Selah. Now for the blowing of the shofar. Allah, Yahweh. Praise. Praise be unto Yahweh. We will get it started real soon, real quickly. Just give me a moment. We're starting in the book of Genesis. Genesis 12. I know a lot of people like to jump right in, but you got to go back to the ancient path, and we have to understand what the Bible is saying today, what the Bible is telling us to do. We are reading the Bible, and we are saying that we are covenant keepers and commandment keepers, but we are missing a whole lot. We're missing a whole lot. So first, when we train up a child, the child must understand who he is. He must understand his lineage. He must understand something about his culture. He must understand his lineage, and he must understand his culture without bias to who he is or who she is. And this is the path that we are on today. Train up a child in Yahweh. Torah. There are three characteristics of the nature of Yah's nature. Three. I'm going to deal with three. Everybody knows them. There's omnipotence, there's omnipresence, and there's omnipotent. Omnipotent meaning he's all powerful. Omnipresent meaning he's everywhere at all time. And omnipotent means that he's all knowing. He's all knowing. And those are the characteristics that begin to formulate Yahweh's divine nature. It helped me out to understand these because there was nowhere that I could go and he wasn't there. So there was no sneaking. There was nothing that I could do and Yahweh didn't know that I was doing it. So I was convicted. Sleeker, turn to the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2. And I just want to slow this ball down, because we have people that are coming into their culture and their heritage, and the people are too far. They're too advanced in their message and in their messaging. And the Bible reads in Habakkuk chapter 2, I will stand upon my watch, I will set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me. I'll watch to see what Yahweh will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Doesn't say the educated. It doesn't say a master's degree, a doctor's degree. I don't care if you got a 5th grade education, a 3rd grade education. I'm supposed to be able to take this word, take this book, and I'm supposed to cause you to understand. Through the book, through the methods of the book, through the easy methods of the book. Now, there's some things that I have taught, and there's some things that I have learned that are a little more complicated, but they have nothing to do with salvation. The thing that I'm going to teach today, it is called fundamentals. We must understand fundamentals, and we must have a base, a root. We must have something that is established first and foremost, and that will have to be our culture and our heritage, and knowing who the people of the book are, and knowing who that majority of the church in America is filled with. And this is something that the church eludes, and the church does not want to have anything to do with their heritage. So we're going to use the Bible so we can understand how to train up a child, because we can see today in this era that our children are not being trained up in the ways of this Bible. They're not being trained up in the ways of this Bible. So the Bible said that if I'm bringing forth a word, then the word that I bring forth, it should be cloven. It should be mild. It should be mild-mannered. It should be with the spirit of excellence, in the spirit of Yahweh. That people will want to come unto Yahweh and not want to go the other way, because they see the actions of certain people who say they know the book and say that they keep the statutes and the laws and the ordinance of this book. So let us turn to Genesis 12, chapter 12, and we'll pick up at verse 1. Pick up at verse 1. I'm on the path. So a lot of y'all that's advanced, I know y'all probably want to run. Y'all want to get here. Y'all want deep. Y'all want depth. Y'all want revelation. But I just want to bring some things out, and I want to point some things out so that we can train up our children, because we need to know what to say to our children. When you say train up a child, there's nothing after that verse, really, that a person can draw and pull from, that, okay, now I see what to do to train up my child. So Genesis 12:1, listen to the book. Now Yahweh had said unto Abraham, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. Understand that in the Bible there are some things that are sacred. So this is the land that the Bible is saying that the creator of all things, saying that he's going to show Abraham. So meaning that Abraham it can't go into Egypt. He got to go into the land. Okay? One thing I want you to do on the other side of this camera, while it's early, I need to get this out. I need you to ask the computer, your phone, or Google, and say, who is the God of the Bible? That's what I want you to ask. That's what I want you to ask. And I'm going to give you Psalms 68 and verse 4. But I want you to ask Google, if you're not computer literate, then ask your niece, nephew, or your neighbor, ask them to type in, who is the God of the Bible? Then I need you to ask Google or whoever, who is the God of Israel? Okay? Now when you ask who is the God of Israel, understand that I'm going to teach something. I'm a little ahead, but I'm going to teach something about Yaakov, who you call Jacob. I'm going to teach something about Yaakov, who you call Jacob. Because I have to differentiate. I need to differentiate, and I need to bring some clarity on some things that has been discombobulated. Then you need to ask yourself, who is the Israelites? Who are the Israelites? And this is for melanated skinned people. Anybody else can do it too. But this is mainly for people who are sitting in the church today. This is just clean, plain information. I'm going to go back over this, but I wanted to put this out here. Who is the God of the Bible? Who is the God of Israel? And who is the Israelites? Because the God of this Bible, the source, the power of this Bible, and who is the God of Israel, these things are very important. And they are very important for you going forward in your biblical studies. They are very important. So the Bible reads in verse 2, Genesis, Bereshit 12:2, and I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So Abram departed, as Yahweh had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abraham was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran, out of his father's house, out of the Chaldees. So out of from Ur. So he's 75 years old leaving his father's house. So that shows you how they train up their children, how we train up our children in this day and time. There was no rush to get them out the house. There was no rush, because most of the time we train our children up in our business, whatever business we had. So that's what talent they took on, and that's how they made their living. You know, because they call Yeshua. That's Joseph. That's Joseph's the carpenter. That's his son. So Yeshua knew things about carpentry also, because his father was, his earthly father was a carpenter. Listen to the book. And Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the soul that they had gotten in Haran, and they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. I want y'all to get this. They went into the land of Canaan they came. And into the land of Canaan, they went into the promised land. Canaan is the promised land. That was the promised land. There are other surrounding cities that we also acquired. The Amorite, the Jebusite, the Hittite. They are also, you'll find that in the book of Joshua, around the 20-something chapter. You'll find that when, let's look at it right quick. Like we have nothing but a little time. Let's look at Joshua. Let's look at 20. Let's look at 21, chapter 21 and verse 43. 21 and verse 43. And Yahweh gave Israel all the land which he had sworn to give unto their fathers. And they possessed, and they dwelt. They dwelt in that land. They dwelt in it. Then when you go back to chapter 20, you start seeing the land that Yahweh gave unto our ancestors. Come on, let's move back up. I just wanted to make that point. So, Abraham, when he leaves his father's house, he already in the land of promise. He in the promised land. He is in the promised land. with no fight, dwelling amongst the Canaanites. He's dwelling amongst the Canaanites in the land of Canaan. Notice at this particular time, I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to read to 8. And Abram passed through the land of the place of Shechem unto the plain of Moreh, and the Canaanite was then in the land. And Yahweh appeared unto Abram and said unto him, Thy seed will I give this land. Thy seed will I give this land. He already in the land. But he said, I'm going to give your seed this land. And there built he an altar unto Yahweh who appeared unto him. Remember this altar. Remember this altar that he built. And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west, and Hai on the east. And there he built an altar unto Yahweh, and called upon the name of, and I want y'all to get this, he didn't call on the name of Yahweh, he called on the name of El Shaddai. He called on the name of the source of power, Almighty. That's what he called on. Let's reinforce that with scripture. Exodus 6 and 3. Exodus 6 and 3. Let's look at Exodus 6 and 3. And we're dealing with Abraham. And the Bible says, and I appeared unto Abraham and Isaac and to Yaakov by the name of El Shaddai. God, but by my name, Yahweh, was I not known to them. So he's not there, he's not known. So only thing that they're dealing with now is they're dealing with people around them that are worshiping things that they have created, things that they have made. So we need to see Yahweh is training. He's training, listen, he's training up Abraham. He's training him up as a child, as a baby. A baby don't understand anything when they growing up, and everything that a baby begins to take in and filter in is taught. It's taught through him seeing it, or it's taught through him somebody telling it to him, or showing it to them hands-on. So we see that Yahweh is finna train up a child. Understand, when Yahweh trains up a child, he's not only training up Abraham, he's training up a nation. He's training up a nation to be, a nation that shall come. This is prophetic. This is not dealing with a man. This is dealing with a nation of people. Y'all just stay with me. This ain't biased. This ain't racist. This real talk. Because we too far ahead. There's a lot of people in the church don't understand who Hebrews are, who Israelites are. They don't understand that I'm not a Jew. I'm not a Jew at all. I detest when I see people say that they black Jews. Do a little more research. You're not a black Jew. You don't have nothing to do. The first time, and I slipped and left out, the first time you ever see the word Jew in this book is going to be in, I think it's 2 Kings or 1 Kings. Is where you're going to see the word Jew. All through this book, I'm going to show you and attest by scripture that it was Hebrew and it was Israelites. Because I want to make a point. I want to make a point for all those who do not follow their heritage and their culture, that have transitioned, and you have been converted. You have converted to something that you are not, something that your ancestors, and that is an insult. That adds an insult to injury for all the things that our people went through to pave a way for us this day. Because my history does not start with Harriet Tubman. My history does not start with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. That's not where my history starts. I'm doing biblical. I'm doing some things biblically, because a lot of times I see some of the teaching that's being taught, they're not biblical. They can't teach you, and they can't walk you and show you line upon line. They start going and grabbing all these other things, and now you got all these other things. You can't teach that to a whole lot of people, because they're going to ask you, where is it in the scripture? So I'm walking this mild-mannered path. I'm walking this mild-mannered path for a reason. That we can be caused to understand, because I'm tired of the division. I'm tired of the strife, and I'm tired of the envy towards one another. This one trying to out-teach, this one out-preach, this one out-know, this one I got more knowledge than you do. That's why y'all debating. Y'all debating because you want to show that I know more than you, and I'm going to prove you wrong. A debate is not so y'all can come to a meeting of the mind. A debate is so I can prove you wrong. And I'm right. Now after this, I should have a follower. And that is the whole agenda with all this debating. So we see that the Bible said that they did not know him by Yahweh. Because we know no Jehovah goes in, we know Jehovah doesn't, we know when Jehovah came into existence. We know what they did with the Tetragrammaton, and we know what they did with the Adonai. We understand what they did with these things. I don't use all those names because the Bible said that we are going to go back to one name and the worship of one consent. So we can make all this fancy stuff up and do all these old fancy bells and whistles, but it's causing our people, first when they come into this knowledge, to be angry. Yes, sir. And to be hateful. To be angry and to be hateful. I'm teaching us to look at us. I'm teaching us to look at your community. Yes. Look at what's going on in your community where you live. That's where you start. You don't start in the White House. You don't start with Congress. You start by raising up your child, training up your child. Yes, sir. See, the problem ain't now, the problem is the training. The training that you got, training that you were given, the training that you have converted for, it has no substance. Yeah. It has no power. It has no power to keep. It has no power to chastise. And it has no mannerisms of the creator of heaven and earth. Has none. It has none. Okay, let us go to, let us look at, I want to fall back to, I think, Genesis, let me see, Genesis 12 and 6. Genesis 12 and 6, and Abraham passed through the land and unto the place of Shechem, unto the plain of Moriah, and the Canaanites was then in the land. I think I wrote that wrong, but it's okay, because I was walking it out simplistically. So let us look. Let us notice. I want us to notice something about Abraham too. Abraham, as I said, is already in the promised land. He in the land. Yes, sir. The Canaanite is in the land. He's in the land. Yes. In Genesis, in Bereshit, my ancestor is already in the promised land. So that's why people want to remove us out of the promised land and out of the book. The reason why I'm going to deal with Canaan today, because there's no way that any other race of people can claim to have been in Canaan with the Canaanites other than these people that are in America today. No pale skin, no non-melanated skin people could never say that they were in the land of Canaan, the Chaldee. They could not say that they were in this land. They were not indigenous to this land, to this promised land at this point in time, and I'm early in the book. I'm in Genesis. So what I'm trying to get you to do in the church is to begin to question yourself and begin to ask yourself some true questions so you can come to an identity. Don't get mad at the messenger. I'm just delivering the message. Yes. Early in the book, we deal with some people that's in the land of Canaan. Now you go look on your phone and ask, what is Canaan? Canaan consists of about 4 things: Palestine, the Jordan, and what they now call Israel. But I'm going to deal with all that. I got to deal with Israel too. I got to deal with how you get to the name of Israel, how you get there. What does it mean? Because that's where I'm going to have to make it real skinny. I'm going to have to make it real skinny at that point. I want y'all to turn to Genesis. Just say Genesis chapter 13. I'm just going to read one verse because I want to move some things around. I'm not going to deal with a whole lot of foolery. I'm going to get straight to the point through the book. That's why I use the book. That's why I say listen to the book. Because I don't want you to listen to me. I don't want you to listen to my study. I don't want you to listen to the things that I studied. I don't want you to listen to the revelation that I came by through prayer and fasting and traveling and this. I need to be able to give you something that you can pass down. You can't pass down my revelation because somebody's going to say, oh, wait a minute, man. Oh, wait a minute. Where is that written at? Where is it written? But this book is the best-selling book in the world. So we already see that it wasn't no that Abraham, he called him El Shaddai. That's what he called Yahweh. He didn't call him Yahweh. He called him El Shaddai because he didn't know him as that. He just knew him as the source of power, Almighty. That's all he knew. That's all he knew. He knew it was a power. He knew it was deities, and he knew that people worship deity. That's all he knew. He didn't know. He didn't know y'all at this particular time as Yahweh. Look at Genesis 13 and 12. And Abraham went up out of Egypt, he and his wife and all he had, and Lot went with him into the south. Lot went with him into the south. And Abraham was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. Y'all need to get this. This is chapter 13. So when he left his daddy's house, strapped. He left his daddy's house a man. Yes. He left his daddy's house strapped when he left his daddy's house. He wasn't in need. He wasn't lacking. See, that's why I say the birds smarter than us. Before the birds have babies, they build a nest. Yes, sir. We running around jumping in bed having babies and ain't got nowhere to lay. Ain't got nowhere to bring the woman that we done impregnated. Now she home with mama, now you home with daddy. Now it's a problem because now you don't want to listen because the child have not been trained up in a way. And we are supposed to fear this Torah and fear Yahweh. No, you ain't supposed to be walking around happy-go-lucky, just do this and just, do this. You got to understand that some things carry a death sentence. And there's some things right now in America, if you break their law, it carries a death sentence. But you contingent on doing away with the integrity of this book. Let us look at Genesis 24 and verse 3. Because I want y'all to see something. This ain't the first time that we left Egypt. And they gave unto us. That wasn't the first time in Exodus. So I'll look at Genesis 24 and 3, like I said. The Bible says this, because I want you to get this. And I will make thee swear by Yahweh. I'm going to take it from the top. And Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and Yahweh had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house that ruled over all he had, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and I will make thee swear by Yahweh, the Abba, the judge, the ruler of Shamayim, the ruler of earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I dwell. So we see that Abraham dwelled among the Canaanites, but he made his servant promise that his son would not betroth a Canaanite woman. So that means that we are coexisting in the land of Canaan. The land is not called Israel. The land is called Canaan. The promised land in this book is called Canaan. Then they changed it to Phoenicia. Then I think they changed it to Palestine. But y'all know how they got it changed to Palestine when they got conquered. They would do that. They would do different things to demise and demean the people. Take your land, name it something else. Take your heritage. So we see that he's dwelling. Now the land, what we need to understand is this, what I'm going to do with this, where I am now. So we see that the land is Canaan, okay? And what we're going to go into, the offspring of Jacob, the offspring of Yaakov shall carry his name, his changed name. So the Bible would read, when we get up to Jacob, Yaakov, it would be the children of Yaakov. But since his name was changed, now we say the children of Yisrael, because his name was changed to Yisrael. We don't want to call the name of all 12 of his children. And with the addition with Manasseh and Ephraim, we don't want to keep calling, when we say the children of Yaakov, and we start naming Gad, and we start naming all the names, Judah, we start naming all names. So when you see the children of Israel, do not append that land over there that they're calling Israel, do not append that to the people today. That's a false we got. That's the false. Because the land is Canaan. It's going to take a while for this to sink in to some people's head, because they so used to saying, oh, we the children of Israel. We the children of Israel. All you're saying is that you are the children of your ancestor, Yaakov. You are the children of your ancestor, Jacob. You're not saying that you're the children of a physical land, because you would have to say that we are the children of Canaan. That's what you would have to say. You would have to say that we are the children of Canaan, because Canaan was in the land before we were occupying the land. So that's why it's called Canaanite. The Canaanite, the land of Canaan, which is one of the grandson of Ham. So now we finna deal with melanated skin again. That's why I'm going this route. Because this land was not occupied. Yes. This land was not cohabitated with black people and white people. This land was only cohabitated by melanated skinned people in the beginning of this Bible. So y'all got to start asking yourself, who are the people today in the land, the so-called land? Oh, we're going to get into it. I'm going to make it plain. Make it plain. Gonna make it plain. Don't make it plain. So, let me read what I got here. The land of Canaan and the offspring of Yaakov, Jacob, carry his changed name of Israel. The children of Israel are the children of Jacob. They are the children of Yaakov. They are Israelites. Let us turn now to 1 Samuel in our Bibles. 1 Samuel chapter 13. First Samuel chapter 13 and 19. (13 and 19). 13 and 19. Now just listen to the book. This is what the book says. 13 and 19 through 20. Now there was no smith found throughout all the land of Israel. Now the land of Canaan, watch this. Now the land of Canaan, once Israel his name was changed, and we went into the land, now the land becomes Israel. Y'all Zarala, whatever you want to do with it. Now the land, because now the land is now named after Yaakov in his changed name state. Yes. Because we got to get this up off of us. We got to get this up off us because people keep talking about a land, and that's not even the name of the land. Yaakov puts his stamp on the land. Listen to what it says. It said, throughout all the land of Israel, for the Philistines said, lest the Hebrews. Now here we go, the Hebrews. So we see that in Israel, we see that we have Hebrews dwelling. Now, the people today don't call themselves Hebrews. They call themselves Jews. Which they are. They are Jews. Give me a minute. Because we just going at a easy way, so you ain't got to argue, so you ain't got to debate. If nobody don't want to listen, to the route that we taking right now, then they just argumentative anyway. Yes. They don't want the information. Yes. They don't want the truth. So you can use the Bible without parsing and without taking it back into Hebrew. You can use this document right here in the state that it's in English, and you can come to know who Yahweh is. Once you come, then you start reinforcing with your studying in Hebrew. But you need to get a grip of the English language. And then you'll be able to see a lot of their fallacy because they begin to go against their own English language. This is what the Bible says. This is what it said. It said, but for the Philistines said, lest the Hebrews make them swords or spears. But all the Israelites went down to the Philistines. So now we got three usages right here. Three usages right here. We have Israel, which is Yaakov, the land of, because now once the 12 tribes, once the sons of Jacob go in the land, now it's called the land of Yaakov, the land of Jacob. But remember, his name was changed, so it's the land of Israel. What his name change is, that land is the land of Canaan underneath. But who is occupying it is the sons of Yaakov, Jacob, who we call Yaakov. See, we're arguing and fighting over stuff that we shouldn't be arguing and fighting over. We're arguing and fighting over stuff that don't have no ties to salvation. So now there was no smith found throughout all the land of Israel, for the Philistines said, lest the Hebrews make them swords or spears. But all the Israelites went down to the Philistines to sharpen every man his share, sickle, and his cutler, and his axe, and his mallet, his hoe. So listen, now I want y'all to look at, Numbers. Look at Numbers 38 and verse 1. Sleep. Numbers 34. Sleeping. Numbers 34 verse 1. 34 verse 1. Got the door open and it's hot in Florida, so the fan is blowing. So just bear with me. The Bible reads in Numbers 34. And Yahweh spoke unto Moses, saying, command the children of Israel, the children of who? The children of Yaakov, the sons of Israel, the sons of Jacob, And say to them, when you come into the land of the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall unto you for an inheritance, even the land of Canaan with the coast thereof. Y'all see what the book says? Yes. Listen to the book. The book called Canaan, the promised land. It ain't saying nothing about Israel. It ain't saying nothing about Israel. Right here in this same verse, you're dealing with two usages. You got the sons of Yaakov, the sons of Jacob, which is Israel, the sons of Israel, undergoing a name change. But he tells them, when you come into the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall unto you for an inheritance, even the land of Canaan with the coast thereof. Let's look at verse 29. These are they whom Yahweh commanded to divide the inheritance unto the children of Israel in the land of Canaan. There is a difference in the Bible. Now, when they start mingling and they start meddling with this book, that's on them. But my job is to make it plain. I'm going to read it to you one more time. It says, these are they whom Yahweh commanded to divide the inheritance unto the children of Yaakov in the land of Canaan. Now, when did the land get changed to the name of Israel? They got to go into it. They got to go into the land. But the land is Canaan, occupied by the Canaanites. I want to read something else to you too, because I want to show y'all something else that also went into the land, because a lot of people don't understand how the land was set up. I want you to look at verse 13. This is for free. And Moses commanded the children of Israel, saying, this is the land which you shall inherit by lot, which Yahweh commanded to give unto the 9 tribes. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Unto the 9 tribes. That slipped y'all and y'all read, didn't it? Unto the 9 tribes. Give me a minute. Okay. A whole lot of arguing. What's a whole lot of information that we are not privy to, that we are not dealing with. Because we done got ahead of, listen, we done got ahead of ourselves, I promise you. Listen, for the tribe of the children of Reuben, according to the house of their father, and the tribe of the children of Gad, according to the house of their father, have received their inheritance, but on the other side of the Jordan is what you call it, and half of the tribe of Naphtali have received their inheritance. The 2 tribes and a half have received their inheritance on this side of the Jordan near Jericho, eastward toward the what? The sunrise. Oh, so you got 9 tribes. That's in the land. I ain't gonna bother. I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna stick with this. I ain't gonna go that way. I'm gonna stick here, I promise you. I'm gonna stick here. Bible say 9 tribes, right? We always holler 12 tribes. All right, listen to the book. The 12 tribes of Yaakov, Israel. The 12 tribes of Yaakov are the 12 tribes of Israel. Let us look back at Genesis 32 and 27. Genesis 32 and 27. Genesis, Bereshit, what did I say? 32, 27. Listen to the book. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Yaakov, my name Jacob. Now listen. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Yaakov, but Yisrael. For as a prince has thou power with Yahweh and with men, and has prevailed. That's the name change. His name changed from Yaakov, which they say Jacob, unto Israel. That's the name change. The land was not Israel. The land was Canaan. Because what I'm trying to show y'all is what I've been teaching and preaching for a long time. That wherever we are the sons of Israel. We are the sons of Yaakov. You can't take that away. You could be over there in the land of Canaan, still trying to call it Israel. No, the name of it is Canaan again. Because the true processes of the land have been removed. Once we was removed, you could no longer hold the title of Israel. That's why I don't do no arguing, no fighting about people talking about Israel, because no, that is a state. That is an Israeli state. They didn't call themselves, they call themselves a state. Back in 1940, you better go and do your research and your history. And find out, because we arguing, oh, we Israel. Know what you gotta know in your know what it is that you're talking about. And you gotta be able to do it with this book. I see so many people dealing with other sources of information where everything you need is in this book. Everything that you need is in this book. Between this book and the Ruach, man, look here. I still can't figure it all out. I still wouldn't get it all. So going to all these other sources, you going to all these other things, what I'm doing is I'm trying to give the church something to identify with. I'm trying to give the person who don't believe in nothing, I'm trying to give you something to identify with according to the Bible. That's why I say find out who the God of this book is. Find out who Israel is and who the Israelites are. Find out that. That's what you need to find out first. Because then you can understand that the people that's over there now in the land of Canaan, they're not the people of the book. Because maybe this will put some integrity back into us. That, man, this my lineage, this my heritage, that this book was written about my forefathers. Because we got to do something, because there's too much strife and there's too much envy, there's too much fighting, there's too much murdering, there's too much incest, there's too much pornography, there's too much molestation going on. There's too much of this stuff going on for people who claim to be conscious and claim to be Torah observant and claim to be held accountable by this word, by this Torah. So we see the name change. Now listen, like I said before, this is why you need to know who is the God of the Bible, who is the God of Israel. If you ask who is the God of Israel, it's going to say Yahweh. And if you ask who is the God of the Bible, it's going to say Yahweh. So I don't understand why you have a problem with Yahweh. And why you melanin skinned people have a problem with returning to the organic word. I don't know. I mean, Stockholm said, I don't know. I'm trying to get to the root because division got to go.
Yes, sir.
Division got to go. And church-going people have a lot more discipline than conscious people. They do. They have a way more discipline than conscious people. They praying, they doing revivals, they doing all this stuff. They going around the world. They ain't going as a street corner, they going around the world. Around the world. You going to the same street corner every day. You got 3 spots you go to and that's it. This ain't the world. These people going around the world making these people proselytes of hell. That's what the Bible says. Bring them into this false doctrine. And all we can do is step back and say, oh, no, you wrong. Let us see who else talks about Israelites. Let us turn to the second right, to the renewed covenant. Let us turn to Yochanan, John 1:47. Let's go to Yochanan 1 and let's see what Yeshua say. Let's see what Yeshua say. In verse 47. Because I want to show you that we've been around. I want to show you that we weren't done away with. I want to show you that we were not destroyed. It just was a confederacy. But I'm not dealing with the confederacy. I'm dealing with us. I'm dealing with our disobedient, hard-headed, stiff-necked, sided selves who refuse and deny the truth. And that's why we're being destroyed. For my people are destroyed because they lack of knowledge and because they reject it. So I'm going to reject them, and I'm going to reject them, and I'm going to forget their children. Hosea 4 and 6. Listen to what the Bible says. Listen to what Yeshua said. Yeshua saw Nathanael coming to him and said unto him, behold, an Israelite indeed. That's what Yeshua said. Yeshua said, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no dishonesty, in whom is no guile. So now you're going to start having to ask yourself, well, who are the Jews then? I just showed my wife in the Bible last week when we was in there studying. I was like, hey, look, take a look at this. In the Bible, what we was at in the Bible, it said that, listen, when Yeshua was telling them, what he was telling them to be reborn, they need to be, reborn or something. They say, look, that come out of bondage. And they were saying, look, we have not been ever in bondage to any man, but we are the seed of Abraham. But they've never been in bondage. Y'all can type that in too. We have never been in bondage. We are the seed of Abraham. So who are these people that have never been in bondage, but is the seed of Abraham? Because all 12 tribes, they've been in bondage through this entire book. But this Bible says that, look, we have not known bondage. Because that's the ones who they call the white, that's them Edomites. That's who it was. Because they are the sons of Abraham. Well, we got a lot to do. We got a lot to do. Let us turn to Romans 11 and 1. Turn to Romans 11 and 1. I say then, have Yahweh cast away his people? Yahweh forbid. For I, this the one who everybody, all these letters written by Shaul, the one y'all call Saul. For I also am an Israelite, not a Jew. He said, I'm a Hebrew. He said, I am a Hebrew, an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. Now that word Abraham, that word Hebrew, I ain't gonna deal with it because we already know that we are Hebrewites. We know that Hebrew is a byproduct word. That's a byproduct word. Hebrew is byproduct. We are Hebrewites. We know what we are. It's some stuff that have been done, but we can straighten it out. Yeah. And still keep the integrity of the book and not be talking about, oh, where the pen and the scribe and lie, so the whole book ain't no good. No, we ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. Because I need to raise my child up. I'm still on how to raise a child. How to raise a good child. Let us look at Proverbs chapter 22. Proverbs 22. You know what this is. You know what it is. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from you. That's the verse. That's the verse in the book. So, where I just brought you from was something you could tell and teach your child. Yeah. Teach your children about their heritage, so they don't be angry. Because the next portion I'm going to show you where we were disobedient. No white man, no Chaldean. I mean, no Arabs. None of that. None of these. The Babylonian slave trade. None of these things. Babylonian captivity. But the only reason we fell into these things is because we would not heed to the voice of Yahweh. Smart Yisrael. And people be talking about Quam Yisrael. Quam Yisrael if you want to. You better be saying smart. They better listen. You can't rise without listening. Y'all better start listening. We got to stop this hatred and this fighting. We got to stop this dislike. You dislike it for no reason. You hate it for no reason. You coming against your own people for no reason. No reason. I know the reason, but I ain't going to go into it. Because we mingled all up. Oh, we mingled all up. But I ain't never going to give no oppressor. And I ain't never going to give nobody authority over me, mentally, physically, or verbally. And all y'all that keep talking about, oh, the white man, oh, this devil, oh, this here. Most of y'all is the biggest devils in the world, because when they start breaking it down, well, we talking about his attribute. Because the devil attribute is to deceive. Y'all deceiving y'all wives. Y'all deceiving y'all girlfriends. You deceiving your husband. You deceiving your boyfriend. Y'all deceiving y'all children. And y'all deceiving this book. So if deception is the attribute of the devil, then hey, I know plenty of them in my community then. If that's what you're saying that the devil is, a deceiver, deception. Because the deception is to make you focus on another people that's moving forward. That's moving forward in the world. And another people that's stagnant, sitting around, crying, murmuring, arguing, and fighting about another people. What gets me is, oh, I see the post, oh, everything they got, they stole it, they took it. What get me is, it's not what they stole, it's how they work what they took. How they working it. How they working it for the good of their children. How they working it for the good of their community. How they worked it to where they sitting up at the head and not the tail. See, I don't have no hatred and no hater spirit in me. So I can't do but look back and say, God, everything they took, the math and the geometry and the cat, everything they took it and they mastered it. If it come from us, why we can't master it again? Why am I gonna keep talking about what they stole and what they took when I know that's a lie? Because Yahweh put my ancestors on the face of the earth to teach them, to instruct them, to teach them the word, to teach them math, to teach them how to live. But like I said, we all swivel again. We off. Because you looking at, you done got caught looking. You looking at the wrong thing. You watching what they done did, but you need to understand and establish what I done on you is, well, God, dog, they took something from somebody else, and if it worked for them, it can work for me. If they working your stuff, what they got from you, don't it make sense to just start working this stuff? They're not fighting and arguing amongst each other to the point they kill each other like we do. They might have their arguments, then they go and vote on it. They pass a bill through legislation. They pass a law. We won't kill each other in the street. Oh no, you can't tell me what to do. That's how I feed my family, man. I feed my family, man. I hustle to feed my family, so you destroying other families to feed your one family. And that's okay. That's cool in our communities. Yeah, man, he doing what he got to do, boy. He done did it. Boy, he done came up. He doing it big. While everybody else study doing it small. That Bible says, look, don't be a respecter of persons. Y'all respect the evil. I don't care if it's your son. I don't care if it's your daughter, your auntie. I don't care who it is in your family. Evil is evil. And cocaine and heroin is evil. That's evil. That's evil. Molly, evil. All these made up stuff, that stuff evil. Listen to the book. Turn to Deuteronomy chapter 5. Now let's look at some things on how to raise up a child. How to raise up a child. I can't give you all of it because that's called Torah. And y'all ain't gonna stay at me while I read the whole Torah. I can't give it all to you, so I just pulled out a few things that's going on to show y'all why we still in the rut that we in. Because this is how you raise a child up. From chapter 5, Deuteronomy, and from verse 7 to 21. Thou shalt have no sources of power before me. Thou shalt not have no elders before, no sources, no power, no rulers, no nothing before me. Thou shalt not serve. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the Shamayim above or the rest beneath, that is in the water beneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them. Who is them? To the Canaanites. Don't bow down to them Canaanites. Nor serve them, for I, Yahweh, thy Abba, am jealous. I am jealous, visiting the iniquity of the father upon the children to the third and fourth generations of them that hate me. Yahweh say you hate him. And showing mercy on the thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. This is how you raise up a child. This is how you start raising up a child. Show them the heritage. Show them the Hebrew and the Israel and the Israelite. Show them that. Smooth and easy so they're not angry. And then you bring them right on into these 10 commandments to quench that anger, to quench that hatred. See, the people that's coming into consciousness, they're not coming in through this gate. They're not coming in through the righteous way. They're not coming in through this way understanding, look, now you held to a higher standard than anybody else on the face of the earth. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy Abba in vain, for Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Keep the Sabbath day to sanctify, as Yahweh thy Abba have commanded thee. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath day, is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy Abba, thy source, thy power. It thou shalt not do any work. In it thou shalt not do any work. Nor thy son, your daughter, your manservant, your maidservant, the ox, the ass, the cattle, nor the servant within thy gates, nor your manservant, nor your maidservant, but just so that we want everybody to rest. So that everybody may rest as well as thou. Let me tell y'all something. The kingdom is here. We are that kingdom. We are scattered out to the four corners of the earth. But we are the sons of Yaakov. And nobody can prescribe to being the sons of Yaakov that is not melanated, which don't mean I'm not putting nothing big on that. But what I'm saying is the people that's over there in the land of Canaan right now, they are not the people in this book. Because that is what a lot of people in the church think. A lot of people think that those Israelis is the people in this book. So that's why they all throw it off. That's why they don't believe what we're saying, because they're like, no, it's not. Tell people to go back to the beginning of this message. And remember that thou was a servant in the land of Israel, Egypt, and that Yahweh thy Abba brought thee out thence through a mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm, therefore Yahweh thy Abba command thee to keep the Sabbath day. Honor thy father and thy mother, as Yahweh the Arbor hath commanded thee. That's lost. And thy days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with thee in the land which Yahweh the Arbor giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Come on, somebody help me. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Why? Because adultery was a punishment of death. Neither shalt thou steal. We breaking in each other's houses and cars. We beating each other out of money on jobs. We underpaying people. Y'all hiring people because they smoke rock, because they smoke drugs, and know you ain't got to pay them right. You ain't got to pay them the full price. So you thriving off of that. Neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor, neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife to covet. You want somebody's wife or husband. Neither shalt thou covet thy neighbor's house, his field, his manservant, his maidservant, his ox, ass, or anything that is thy neighbor's. These are the words that he spoke unto the assembly. Raise up a child. Yeah. This needs to be spoken over our children when they're in their rockers, when they're in their little car seats. That's when they need to start getting this information. Yeah. Because now, since y'all know slavery, the child was separated from the mama. Now the child now separated from the mama, so what's the problem now? The child is not separated from the mom at birth no more. So what's the problem now? We got men that's choosing to leave the women that they impregnate and go impregnate another woman and go impregnate another woman, going to another marriage. We have all this going on. What's our excuse? Yes, sir. Because this don't sound like captivity to me. You can raise your child. You can put back into your child what was taken out of your child. You got the Bible, you can preach out the Bible, you can teach out the Bible, you can teach Aramaic, you can teach Hebrew, you can teach Swahili, you can teach all this stuff in this land. In this land, all this can be done. You can't do all that in China. You can't do all that in Russia. You can't do all that in North Korea. The blame game got to go. Deuteronomy chapter 6. Let's go over one page. Some things on how to raise a child. You might need to tell somebody one day. They might be like, how did I raise my child? Let's look at verse 6. Let's look at chapter 6, verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest in by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. You supposed to teach them what? What is you supposed to teach them? Diligently means carefully. Yeah. Painstakingly. What is you supposed to teach them? What? Torah. Torah is all you can teach them. Let's see some of the things we can teach. Go back to verse 1. Now these are the commandments that you should teach, the statutes and the judgments which Yahweh your Arbor commanded you to teach you, that you might do them in the land whether you go to possess it. Yes, yes. Any land I'm going to possess it, I'm going to learn it. Yes, sir. I ain't going to wait till I go back trying to get back to the I'm the son of Israel. Yeah. Right here. Wherever I place my feet at. Yeah. That thou mightest fear Yahweh thy Arbor, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged. Shema Yisrael, and observe to do it. Listen, that it may be well with thee, and that thou may increase mightily, as Yahweh thy Arbor hath promised thee. While we not prospering, as Yahweh promised. Is Yahweh a promise breaker?
Come on.
Or is he a promise keeper? Is Yahweh a man that he can lie?
Come on.
Is you calling Yahweh a liar? Israel, you Israelites? You Hebrews? You calling Yahweh a bald-faced lie because you fighting, killing, stealing, cheating, taking, beating one another. And it's cute. Y'all think that make y'all hard? Because you knocked your brother's teeth out of his mouth last night. Because you hit him in the head with a barber. Now he in a coma. And won't nobody tell. Listen to the book. Smart Israel. Yahweh our Abba is one, is Echad. And thou shalt love Yahweh thy Abba with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And that's the first 4 commandments, how you do that. Yeah. The first 4 commandments is how you do this. The next 6 is how you love your neighbor. So that's when Yeshua say everything rests on these 2 commandments. Love Yahweh with all thy heart, thy mind, thy body, thy soul, and love thy neighbor, thou love thyself. That's why he said 2 within those 2 is 10. Because in the first is 4, in the second is 6. He didn't change nothing. That's right. They're going to lie and try to say he changed it. No, he didn't. Y'all just don't understand scripture. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy what? Shall be in thy heart. Verse 5. Again. Thou shalt love Yahweh thy Abba with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in 13. Because now we raising up a child, y'all. I don't want to hold y'all too long, so let me see. All right. You got a little time. We talking about a child. I'm a child of the Most High. I ain't never going to be grown.